The clock keeps ticking whether you do or not. Let me tell you something that changed my life. Time waits for no one. Not you. Not me. Not the wealthy. Not the poor. Every day, we all get the same 24 hours. But what we do with it, that's what separates the disciplined from the distracted, the achievers from the excuse makers, the extraordinary from the ordinary. And here's the truth. If you don't run your day will run you. If you don't learn to master your minutes, your life will stay out of control. You see, success doesn't start with talent. It starts with time. How you manage it, how you protect it, how you discipline it. Because when you discipline your time, you start to discipline your life. Let me ask you a question. Where does your time go? You don't have to answer out loud. Just think about yesterday. Think about last week. Think about last year. Was your time invested or was it wasted? You see, time is a lot like money. It can be spent, it can be saved, it can be wasted, or it can be invested. But unlike money, you can't earn more of it. You can't get a refund. You don't get a second shot at yesterday. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. And yet most people treat time like it's cheap. They trade hours for gossip. They trade mornings for scrolling. They trade years for comfort. And then they wonder where their dreams went. The danger isn't always in big decisions. It's in the small ones, the ones that seem innocent. I'll do it tomorrow. Just 5 more minutes. I'll start next week. But time doesn't wait. You wake up one day and realize you're 5 years behind on a 1-year goal. Not because you weren't capable, but because you weren't disciplined. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. And if you can discipline your time, you can create a life most people only dream about. One of the best lessons I ever learned was this. Don't start your day until you've finished it on paper. That means plan it. Structure it. Set your intentions. Because if you wake up and let the world decide what happens, you'll be busy all day, but go nowhere. You'll respond to everything, but create nothing. Your calendar should reflect your priorities, not just your appointments. So let me ask, do you have a system? Do you know what matters most every day? Because without a clear plan, time will evaporate. It will vanish quietly and quickly. There's another cost people don't talk about, the emotional cost. Every time you waste a day, you don't just lose productivity, you lose confidence, you lose momentum. You lose the energy that comes from making progress. Lack of discipline erodes self-esteem. And the opposite is also true. The more you follow through on what you said you'd do, the more powerful you feel. Discipline creates dignity. It builds trust with yourself. And once you trust yourself, there's no limit to what you can build. The first step in changing how you use your time is becoming aware of where it's going. Write it down. Audit your day. It might shock you how much time is leaking away. And once you see it, you can fix it. Because you can't manage what you don't measure. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. So today, start small. Track your hours, label them honestly. Ask yourself, was this hour invested in my goals or borrowed by distraction? Time is not your enemy. But it is non-negotiable. You can't slow it down. You can't buy it back. You can only use it wisely or lose it quietly. And the difference between a successful person and everyone else isn't intelligence. It isn't resources. It's how they use their time. Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. Lack of discipline inevitably leads to failure. And it all starts with the clock. Don't start your day until you've finished it on paper. Let that line settle for a moment. Because most people wake up and just go. They let the day happen to them. They react. They respond. They get pulled in every direction. And by the end of it, they're exhausted, but have accomplished nothing meaningful. That's not a life of discipline. That's a life of distraction. You see, success is not a result of doing more. It's the result of doing the right things consistently. And the secret to consistency is a routine. A daily structure that keeps you focused, grounded, and moving forward with purpose. Here's the rule: if you don't plan your day, someone else will. Discipline begins in the quiet moments before the world wakes up. And it looks like this: a pen, a piece of paper, a clear mind, and a few honest questions. What matters most today? What must be done no matter what? What will move me closer to my long-term goals? When you answer those questions daily, you stop operating on accident and start living on purpose. Without a sense of urgency, desire loses its value. That's why routines are powerful. They create urgency before the world gives you excuses. Most people wake up and drift. Millionaires wake up and drive. They don't stumble into their mornings. They command them. Here's what a disciplined morning might look like. 1. Silence and clarity. Spend 10 minutes in reflection. No screens. No noise. Just you and your thoughts. Ask, what kind of person do I want to be today? 2. Physical movement. Motion creates emotion. Whether it's a walk, stretching, or a workout, move your body. It wakes up the mind. 3. Mental fuel. Read, listen, learn. Feed your mind before you feed your phone. 10 pages a day can change your direction. 4. Plan with intention. Write your top 3 priorities. Schedule time for deep work. Block distractions before they block progress. A powerful morning creates a productive day. Now let's talk about the other side of the clock. The evening. See, discipline isn't just how you start the day. It's how you end it too. Because the end of your day is the beginning of your tomorrow. An evening routine might look like: 1. Review the day. What worked? What didn't? What did I avoid that I should have done? 2. Gratitude practice. What am I thankful for today? Gratitude shifts your energy. It helps you rest with peace, not pressure. 3. Prepare for tomorrow. Lay out your clothes. Prepare your workspace. Write tomorrow's top 3 priorities. Preparation tonight is confidence in the morning. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals. Your morning and evening routines, those are the fundamentals. Let me introduce you to a concept that changed my productivity forever: time blocking. You take your day and you divide it into focus segments. Each block has one purpose. Not 5, not 10, just 1. A block for learning, a block for creating, a block for calls, a block for rest. Because here's the truth: multitasking is a myth. It's a fancy word for doing everything poorly. But when you give your full attention to one thing, you become powerful. And that power compounds over time. Here's what I love about routines. They take the thinking out of discipline. You don't have to negotiate with yourself every day. Should I do this? Should I skip it? Maybe tomorrow. Or no. The routine decides. You just follow it. It frees up your mental energy so you can focus on creating, not just coping. And day by day, your routine shapes your identity. You go from, I'm trying to be productive, to, I am a productive person. You go from, I should be disciplined, to, I am disciplined. Ask yourself, what does my routine say about me? Take a moment and reflect. What does your current daily routine say about your priorities? Does it reflect your goals or your distractions? Does it serve your future self or just your comfort? Because here's the truth: your life moves in the direction of your dominant routines. If you want a better life, you don't need more motivation. You need better routines. You don't need to fix everything in one day. You just need to own the day in front of you. Because when you win the day, and you win it again tomorrow, and again the next, something amazing happens. You stop hoping for success and start expecting it. Because discipline through daily routines isn't a chore. It's a gift you give yourself, the gift of direction, of focus, of peace. Days are expensive. When you spend a day, you have one less day to spend. So make sure you spend each one wisely. Next, we're going to take it further. We'll talk about how to protect your time by learning the powerful discipline of saying no. Because you can't master your time if you give it away to everything and everyone. Stay with me. Learn to say no. Don't let your mouth overload your back. Let me say it plainly. If you don't protect your time, you'll lose it. Not to big emergencies, not to major catastrophes, but to small interruptions, to things that feel urgent but aren't important, to other people's expectations, to distractions that look like opportunities, but are really just detours. You must learn the power of saying no. Because every time you say yes to something meaningless, you're saying no to something that matters. Some people say yes to everything. Why? Because they don't want to disappoint anyone. Because they fear conflict. Because they think if they're busy, they must be important. But business doesn't equal productivity. And being liked doesn't build your future. You have to ask yourself, am I available to everyone, but committed to nothing? That's a dangerous place to be. Every yes should be measured. Every yes should be earned. Because every yes is a trade. And what you're trading is your time, your focus, and your energy. You can't afford to waste that on things that won't matter in 5 years, or even 5 days. Here's something most people don't realize. It's not just what you do that makes you successful. It's what you don't do. You don't become wealthy just by doing more. You become wealthy by focusing on the right things. And to focus on the right things, you have to say no to the wrong things. Let me give you some examples. Say no to gossip. It wastes time and poisons your spirit. Say no to distractions. Not every notification deserves your attention. Say no to unimportant meetings. Not every calendar invite deserves your presence. Say no to people who drain your energy. You can love them from a distance. Saying no doesn't make you rude. It makes you wise. It's not about being arrogant. It's about being intentional. Most people wouldn't let a stranger reach into their wallet, but they'll let just about anyone reach into their schedule. You must become a protector of your time. Treat it like a precious resource, because that's exactly what it is. Money comes and goes, but time only goes. You never get it back. So use it carefully. Start asking yourself, does this serve my goals? Is this request aligned with my values? Will this help me become the person I want to be? If the answer is no, then say no. With kindness, with clarity, with confidence. Now listen, this is hard for some of you, because you're used to being the wise person, the one who's always there, the helper, the rescuer, the fixer. But sometimes the most disciplined thing you can do is disappoint someone else so you don't disappoint yourself. You cannot fulfill your purpose while constantly fulfilling everyone else's plans. There will be times when people don't understand your boundaries. That's okay. Your job is not to be understood. Your job is to be faithful to your mission. If you try to please everyone, you'll end up pleasing no one, especially not the future version of you. Saying no also clears mental clutter. Every time you say yes to something unnecessary, it becomes another thing to worry about, another thing to juggle, another thing to remember. Over time, all those little yeses build up into stress, into fatigue, into burnout. But when you start saying no, you gain space, you gain focus, you gain clarity. And that clarity leads to power. Because now your energy isn't scattered, it's directed. Your effort isn't wasted, it's focused. And that focus will take you places no amount of business ever could. Every no protects a bigger yes. Saying no to a distraction means saying yes to progress. Saying no to a late night means saying yes to a powerful morning. Saying no to shallow conversations means saying yes to deep focus. So, don't just say no to be difficult. Say no to be disciplined. Because when you protect your time, you protect your vision. You protect your peace. You protect your future. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. That bridge is built not just by action, but by elimination. You can't manage your life if you can't manage your time, and you can't manage your time until you manage yourself. Time and identity go hand in hand. One shapes the other. How you see yourself determines how you use your time, and how you use your time reflects how much you value yourself. You want to change your results? Don't just change your habits. Change your identity. Because when you start to see yourself as a person who respects the clock begins to respect you back. Let me ask you something. What does your calendar say about your character? Does it show discipline or distraction? Does it show intention or impulse? Because here's the truth. Your use of time is a reflection of your values. It tells the world what you believe is important. Not what you say is important, but what you act on. Your schedule is your soul on display. You say family matters. Is there time blocked out for them? You say your goals matter. Is there a place for them in your routine? You say your health matters. Is there time carved out to move your body? If not, it's not a time problem, it's an identity problem. We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our standards. And your standards come from your self-image. Here's the good news, identity is not fixed. It's built, one choice at a time. You become the person who respects time by acting like one even before you fully believe it. Discipline rewires identity, and identity reinforces discipline. Every time you show up on time, every time you follow your schedule, every time you complete what you said you would, you cast a vote for the type of person you want to become. Discipline builds dignity, and dignity is the foundation of a successful life. Now, most people think time discipline is about productivity, and it is. But it's about something more powerful. 2, it builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. When you trust yourself, you stop second guessing. You stop procrastinating. You stop negotiating with your excuses. You begin to say, I said I'd do it, so I will. I put it on the calendar, so it matters. I committed, so I follow through. That's not just time management. That's self-leadership. That's who people follow. That's who earns respect. That's who builds wealth, relationships, and legacy. Here's a tough truth. If you waste time, you're wasting your assignment. You were given life to do something meaningful, to create, lead, to help, to build. But every minute you let slip away carelessly is a minute you can't get back. You don't just lose productivity. You lose potential. And it's not about being perfect. It's about being purposeful. When you start seeing your time as sacred, you start seeing your life as significant. And when you treat every hour like it counts, it starts to compound. Some people say, I struggle with time management. No, you struggle with identity alignment because you don't need another planner. You don't need another to-do list. You need to believe you are the kind of person who honors commitments, especially to yourself. Here's how you begin. 1, keep small promises. Say you'll wake up at 6. Do it. Say you'll write for 20 minutes. Do it. These little wins build identity trust. 2, create identity statements. Don't just say, I want to be more productive. Say, I'm the kind of person who honors their time. 3, eliminate what doesn't match your future. If something doesn't align with your future self, remove it. Even if it's comfortable, especially if it's comfortable. Because becoming someone new means letting go of the person you used to be. You'll never outrun your identity. So if you want to live a disciplined life, you have to become a disciplined person. And it starts now, with small acts of time respect, with honoring your word, with showing up when no one's watching. Because when you respect the clock, you respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, you stop chasing potential and start living. When the promise matches the person, anything is possible. Next, we'll bring it all together and talk about what happens when time discipline becomes a lifestyle. Not just for productivity, but for peace, power, and purpose. Because the goal isn't to be busy. It's to be aligned. Let's finish strong. Time is life. Waste your time, waste your life. Master your time, and you master your future. Let's be honest, you can't master your life in a day. But you can master your day. And when you begin to master your days, one by one, hour by hour, you begin to shape something greater. You shape your habits. You shape your identity. You shape your destiny. Time isn't just a resource. Time is the canvas of your entire life. And every minute you spend, whether in purpose or in distraction, leaves a mark. So the real question is, what kind of life are you painting? You want more success? Master your time. You want better health? Master your time. You want deeper relationships? Master your time. Because everything you want in life, everything is built on the foundation of time. Success is not in doing more things. It's in doing the right things at the right time. Over and over again. You don't need 25 hours in a day. You need to make better use of the 24 you already have. Most people think time discipline is just about scheduling, but that's only the surface. Time mastery is emotional mastery. Think about it. Procrastination isn't a time issue. It's a fear issue. Overcommitting isn't a scheduling problem. It's a self-worth issue. Distraction isn't just about noise. It's about avoidance. When you learn to manage your time, you begin to manage your mind. You learn to stay focused under pressure. You learn to show up when you don't feel like it. You learn to say no, not because you're harsh, but because you're clear. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when your emotions want to run. That's power. That's maturity. That's self-leadership. There's something you must understand. Time compounds. Every disciplined hour builds on the last, and every wasted one steals from your future. You don't feel the effects of time immediately. That's the danger and the opportunity. A wasted week doesn't feel painful until it becomes a wasted year. A small act of discipline may feel insignificant today, but it becomes powerful when repeated for 300 days. That's how winners win, not with talent, not with luck, but with consistency over time. They master the moment over and over again. Let me tell you what happens when you live with time discipline. 1, clarity increases. You stop asking, what should I do today? You already know. Your schedule reflects your values. 2, confidence grows. Every time you follow through, you build trust with yourself, and that trust becomes your inner strength. 3, stress decreases. You're no longer running behind. You're no longer apologizing for broken commitments. You're calm, collected, focused. 4, opportunities multiply. People respect those who respect time. Leaders are drawn to the organized. Doors open for those who show up prepared. This is the reward of time mastery. Not just a better calendar, but a better life. Here's something you must not forget. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom. Discipline is the foundation of it. Most people think discipline restricts you, but it's the opposite. Discipline frees you. When your time is under control, your mind is under control, your finances begin to improve, your relationships deepen, you feel lighter because you're not constantly behind. Structure doesn't suffocate dreams. It protects them. Let's zoom out. What's the real reason you want to master time? Not just to be busy, not just to check more boxes, but to live a life of purpose, to create, to lead, to love, to serve, to build something that lasts. That's the why behind time discipline. It's not just about being more efficient. It's about becoming intentional. Because time is not just about minutes. It's about meaning. Let me leave you with this. Every one of us is given the same 24 hours, rich or poor, young or old, busy or free. The difference isn't the time. The difference is the choice. What will you do with your next hour? What will you say yes to? And what will you finally say no to? Will you continue drifting? Or will you decide once and for all to take control? Because your future is not determined by luck. It's not shaped by fate. It's shaped by the hours you choose to own. Discipline your time, and you'll discipline your life. Discipline your life, and you'll write a future you're proud of. The clock is ticking. The question is, are you living like it matters?